Good morning, everybody. I'm Aurea Eden. The day is April the 8th, 2024, and what a day it will be. The energy for today is about not letting anything hold you back. You've got this far, but things can come up, such as distraction. And so that's something that we're going to focus on today is how to combat that distraction. The words associated with today is a lot of them. It's blush. So somebody's going to make you blush or may make you blush. Lungs. Did you take care of your lungs like I was telling you about the other day? Somebody needs to drink more water, go to the doctor. Something about lungs. Slung. Don't let nobody sling no mud on you today. Because you know people like to throw mud on your name. Or maybe it's a good time to go fertilize your field and slang some poop, some cow manure, some chicken manure, some nitrogen or whatever you put on your fields. Did you know that? Did you know that you get paid for grass? I didn't know you got paid for grass until I moved here in the country. The things that we don't know and we just sleep on. I did not know you get paid for grass. Thus, I made a great investment. Okay. So bugs. Another thing is, bugs, you may start seeing more bugs after today or today. Something about bugs. Or maybe you need to exterminate if you're having a bug infestation of some kind. But I have been seeing little June bugs in April. So that's interesting that I've been already seeing little June bugs because they don't typically come out around this time. I think they usually come out later. But my chickens are loving it. Bush. Watch out for the ram in the bush. So God is going to give you a way out. Hubs, maybe focus on the hubcaps on your car. I don't know. Hung, maybe something about clothes or it's Hung. Maybe that's somewhere. Maybe it's a name. I don't know. Buns. Hung buns. Yeah, I'm going to leave that to y'all's imagination. Gush. I'm going to leave that to y'all's imagination. I ain't even going to talk about it. But it might rain today. Let's just say that. Hugs. So a lot of affection can result from today. But then there's also a flip side to this affection, right? It might start off like that. And for those of you that know how to communicate and you have relationships that have stand the test of times or that's meant to stand the test of times, then today is going to be a good day for you. But if it's not like that and it's something fresh and something new and you're still trying to figure it out, it can go left real fast today. Sub, S-U-B, you might want to eat some Subway or something about the Subway, or there might be a lot of substituting since a lot of people are traveling, wanting to see the eclipse or something significant about a sub. Nubs or submarine. It might be some submarine movement today. Nubs. Nubs, be careful when you are working with heavy machinery today. I was going to tell you that anyways because today is another eclipse. And I don't know how I'm going to feel today, but I do know that based on the last, the lunar eclipse, like I told you in the lunar eclipse, you don't want to operate any heavy machinery that you can help not operating, and you don't want to be using knives or anything because a lot of times it's like you're not fully there, you're not fully here. And so it's kind of like you might be like kind of dazed out a little bit. So especially right after the eclipse, if you actually go look at it, I told you this stuff is negative, it's negative energy. And I'll talk about this a little later, how there's a lot of talk going on about who to believe and who not believe. When I tell you something, believe me, don't go outside looking at that thing. It's negative energy. Don't be calling me a false prophet, because for one, I never did. I tell you I was a prophet. I am what I am, but I typically don't like to put a name to it, because I am what I am. I'm a lot of things. Trust and believe. I can be a preacher. I can be a teacher. I can be a prophetess. I can be a seer. I have been called many names. That's why I don't put a stamp on what I am. I am what I am. Snub. What's a snub? Is that like, no, I don't know. When I think snub, I'm thinking like shrug, like somebody like, or snub is something like betrayal, backstabbing, type, situation. And interesting enough, sung, like, a song that has been sung before. But interesting enough, guess what's in the words of today? I did not make this stuff up, okay? I did not make up the letters for today. I didn't make up the words for the day. Well, I had to figure them out, but soul, S-O-L. Do you know that means sun in Spanish, right? Soul, it means sun. Soul means sun in Spanish. But it's also sun, S-U-N, actually sun in the word of the day. So it's almost like this is supposed to happen, obviously. Uggs, like, somebody gonna get on my nerves. Somebody getting on my nerves. And I told you that's the energy for today. It starts off all nice and all, but well, not so much. But it's gonna be a lot of people in the same vicinity again. And when you got that type of association going on, sometimes things can go left when they were meant to go right. Huns, S-U-N-S. So I'm liking that. Like I said, a lot of romantic energy going on too. Lugs, L-U-G-S. I guess like lug nuts or whatever. Yesterday I think it was yesterday or the day before, when I was talking about limo and all, there was a lot of energy associated with it. And so it's interesting that energy has kind of a little bit transferred over to today. But I'm not getting that it's unsafe to drive to a certain degree. I'm just getting, you should take care, make sure everything is okay with your, do some maintenance today. And that's internal maintenance and external maintenance. Lugs. What are those shoes called? No, those are Uggs, huh? Uggs, whatever. But yeah, the lugs. So I talked about that. Lops, L-O-P-S. Maybe bunnies. Like, what are those? The Holland Lops. Those bunnies with the long ears. They're so cute. Maybe you'll see more of those, or lollipop lops. I don't know what lops mean, but I know it's a word. So something to look out for. Poles, P-O-S. So something significant about P-O-L-S, polls. Maybe a significant politician polls are going to go up, or maybe poll stands for politics. I don't know. Slob. I'm going to leave that to your imagination. OBV, something obvious, something. So, yeah, so, pay attention. Joe, J-O, Bo, B-O, O-S, like OS systems, operating systems. I think that's what OS stands for. OPS, ops. Oh, ops. Oh, somebody. Oh, maybe it's true what they say about today. I don't know. Something about some ops going on. Politicking and ops, not necessarily politicking. I don't get politicking, I get polls. So somebody's polls are going to go up. Maybe somebody's taking a survey today. They're going to be surveying what's going on. POS, POS, POS. That POS, that could be stations, but that's I think that's what I was in the military. But as a sub, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was actually supposed to be undesignated, but look at God. Look at God. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. BOPS, BOPS, SOP, COP. And not only is it talking about the sun, but you also got the US. So the US is actually significant, or it just could be us. It could be us. So, like I said, relationships is significant. Shun, like somebody shunning somebody, so yeah. And then after it said shun, you know what it said? I got my hat on, so I got to do all this today. Yeah. After it said shun, it says slug. Like slug. So don't be doing all that today. But that's the energy of today. So make sure you're giving people enough space. Or don't go out and all, and because one of the words for today is snug, and get all snuggy and snugged up, and yeah, snuggle, all that snuggle. Okay, so other words associated with the day is excitement, cranky, sadness, compute, teach, sit, exuberance, astonished, and serene. Well, we can associate astonished and serene and maybe even excitement with what's going on today with the solar eclipse. But what we're getting from this is that, oh yeah, don't go outside, sit in the house, teach, try not to be cranky, and work on your computer and keep your spirits up, because today is a day for potential sadness and heartbreaks. Because if you know how to communicate effectively, then in relationships and partnerships, and relationships are not just about partnerships, and relationships, just it could be with your mother, father, your sister, brother, your aunt, uncle, your cousin, so this can come anyway, from any direction. So you just want to keep your spirits high, and don't allow yourself to be distracted. So distraction is a real thing. And distraction comes when you forget why you are doing or have started doing what you are doing. That's why you have to constantly remind yourself of your goals, your visions, your dreams, your aspirations, what God has said to you. You have to constantly stay in alignment with your vision. That's why it's good to do a vision board. That's why it's good to journal, because you need to remind yourself of the things you said. Just like what we remind God of what he said, we remind ourselves of the things we said, because otherwise, if you're anything like me and you have all these ideas that's coming in 1,000 miles per minute, you can forget. You can forget. And when you forget, you're not working towards your goal accordingly. And you're allowing yourself to get all, just, I guess you could say, distracted because you're not focused and you're not concentrating on your goal. And if you're not focused and concentrating on your goal, that means you're not passionate enough. So you have to go back to the drawing board and remember what you started doing it for. What triggered you to want to do it in the first place? And you have to go back and get that passion again, because that's what's missing. You got to get fired up about it. But when you see, the way you can get distracted is you start going through some stuff and then you lose sight of the vision. That's what the enemy wants. That's why some of the stuff is not God sent. Some of the stuff is in the enemy sends, because he wants to distract you from your purpose. Because he knows that if he can keep you preoccupied, then you won't see what's really going on. That's what's going on in the world with all this talk and all this hoopla. They're trying to keep you distracted. That's why they gave you what they gave you, and scribbled into and scratched off and erased what they did to get you distracted from what it is that you were supposed to be actually doing for your becoming. He wants to collect as many people as he can, because misery loves company. So when he gets locked away, he wants to have company with him. And a lot of it. But I digress because that ain't what we're talking about today. But stay focused. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. And it's easier said than done, because that distraction will come from the people you love the most, the people you would expect that would never do it to you. But they do it to you because the enemy, if they are not on the path that you are on, the enemy can use them in any kind of way, because they are subject to him. And so that's why a lot of times they oppose you, because it's not them you see, it's that devil. It's that devil. I had to correct some people in my life when I first started my journey. I had to rebuke some people in my life that when I first started my journey, because they didn't understand what I was going through. And of course they throw those crazies around, but I'm okay with the crazies. Of course they throw those witches around, but I'm okay with the witch now. I'm okay with the witch now, because at the end of the day, I know what I am. At the end of the day, I know who I am. So it's easier for me now, and this is a new revelation, it's easy for me now to not get distracted by it. Because it's key that you understand that the devil, he will help you tear up all the pieces and leave you alone with the mess. Get that? The enemy will help you tear up all the pieces of your family, of your life, and then he will leave you alone with the mess. That's what he will do. And then he'll tell you what? It's your fault. You're the reason why. I didn't have nothing to do with that. That was all you. And then he'll tell you how much of a bad person you are for indulging what he provoked you to indulge in. He will help you tear up all the pieces, and then he will leave you alone with the mess. So don't allow yourself to be distracted. Partner with the right people in the right places for the right reasons and the right things. Be patient and expect the best. So in order to expect the best, you must put your best foot forward to get the best. Okay? Invest in your time wisely. Invest your time wisely. And that's kind of going into what I was just saying about how you get the best. Invest in your time wisely. Keep working at it. Laziness ain't going to do it for you. It's not going to do it for you. You can't sit there and expect to get something for nothing, because that's not really how this works. Even with blessings, if you sitting up here expecting something for nothing, that's not how this works. God loves me too. Trust and believe he does. But he ain't just throwing stuff on my lap just because. Yes, grace is a part of it, but effort is another part of it. Seeking is another part of it. Overcoming is another part of it. So great, whereas they're trying is another aspect of it. So using your talents is another aspect of it. Bringing your own oil is another aspect of it. Okay. So it's not just about grace. It's not just about grace. People make you think that you don't got to do something to get into the kingdom. But yes, you do. Because everybody is not going to make it. We talk about how they say it's the 144,000. I don't subscribe to that number. But at the same time, as an example, if there's only 144,000 people that said to make it, then that should raise some eyebrows and some questions. Because that means that there was 144,000 people that made an effort to be pure in heart, to be perfect. Because it comes from being perfect. People say there's no such thing as a perfection. You're right. There's no such thing as somebody being perfect right now. But don't use that as an excuse. Strive to be perfect, because the perfect are those that are going to be in the kingdom, that are going to enter into the promised kingdom. Notice I said the promised kingdom. There's a promised kingdom. As above, so below. There is a promised kingdom that the remnant of God shall set up. The 144,000 are the remnant of God. The chosen of God. Those who have went through the process and did the work to set up the kingdom of God, the pureness of God, those who are able to get past all of the mundane and all of the stuff that doesn't even matter and get past the distraction, those who have ran through and leaped over. But that's not what we're talking about today. But invest your time wisely. Invest your time in becoming better, in getting better, in striving to be perfect, although you are not perfect. That's what that's about. Like-minded people will support you. So if you focus on those and take in what those that are supporting you are saying, you don't have to worry about the naysayers. And with the energy over the last few days, I got to be honest with you. Those naysayers, they were really upsetting me. They really were. To the point to where not I was thinking, oh, are they right? But I'm like, God, that's the reason why. The reason why I keep telling God I can't do this is, God, I really don't want to deal with these people. That's what it's really about. It's never about me not wanting to do what God tells me to do. It's me not wanting to deal with a certain type of people. A people that are inconsiderate, uncaring, confrontational just to be confrontational. The same people that went up against Moses after all that he'd done for him. The same people that all they did was complain and complain and complain. I'm familiar with this people, and I really didn't want to deal with them because I'm tired. But if I don't do it, who gonna do it? If you don't do it, who gonna do it? I can't say I love you and I don't want to deal with you. But I can and I do. But I don't want to deal with that. But obviously God sees something in me that says I can deal with it. But the key to this, I don't have to deal with those. If they don't want it, he told me something when I first started this journey. And I was ashamed of my gift. And he would tell me to tell somebody, and I was like, you know what they're going to say about me? You know what they're going to think about me? I was like, nah, I ain't doing that. If I'm being honest, I'm not doing that. I ain't telling nobody nothing. until I started getting my butt whooped in the world. And then I was like, you want me to say what? Okay, I'll do that. But he said, give them what they need and let them decide what to do with it. Give them what they need and let them decide what to do with it. Man. So that's like one of my mottos in life. Give them what they need, or anthems. Give them what they need and let them decide what to do with it. And I always have to go back to that. Give them what they need and let them decide what to do with it. Now, I haven't started that just yet. But yeah. Avoid energy vampires. Distraction. So the enemy has minions, and he sends people in your life to, like I said, you remember when I was telling you, if you watched that video of my first video doing all this to do my trust fall, about how the enemy will send his minions to mess with your mind and up here because he can't do it. See, the enemy works with what we call your lower chakras. He works down there. He doesn't work up here. Because up here we have spiritual things, communication. But he sends his minions to try to mess with your throat. He sends his minions to try to mess with your mind. He sends his minions to try to mess with your spirit. He sends his minions to try to mess with your heart. He works up here. He tries to manipulate what goes on up here with his minions, but he works down here in your lower chakras, or he manipulates them anyways. But those energy vampires, if you go around people and they make you feel exhausted, some of that's going to go on today, and they just make you feel exhausted, like you can't get a word in. They're always trying to overpower you. They're always trying to be in competition with you, and you were never in competition with them, so you don't even understand why they're in competition with you, why they're jealous of you. You don't understand it. Because they're jealous of you, but why? And it's like they have more than you, and it's like they don't even see it. But it's something about you that still make them jealous. But they have everything that you ever wanted. But you still want them to be blessed. They get to be with their families. Not you as a chosen. Sometimes your family is on hold because God didn't just say you could just be with anybody. You're chosen to be with another chosen. So you got to wait till that relationship finds you. Wait till you align with that relationship. Wait till you make it to that stage, that phase in your life to where that relationship is that karmic relationship for your betterment. I digress. Birds of a feather flock together. Remember when I said, so you can't just be with just anybody. That's why these relationships ain't working out for you. That's why people are in your life for a season so that you can learn from them and learn about yourself, because everybody teaches a lesson. Everybody in this world is considered a teacher. Everybody, from the dogs to the babies, to the birds, to the ants, everybody's a teacher. If you pay attention, they'll teach you something. If they are not working for you and your goals, they are working against you and your goals. Okay? If they are not working for you and your goals, they are working against you and your goals. I'm so grateful for the people that I have in my life. And I tell you, I have some friends that I can keep on one hand. Like my friends, like my friends, my best friends, my family that, because I always create my own family, but they have rocked with me from the beginning, so I can be peculiar. I can be quirky. I can be myself around them. And that is the goal, to be around somebody that you can be yourself. Because if you're not trying to be yourself or able to be yourself around people, then it's a problem. You can't pursue your dreams around those people because they seemingly don't understand it, and they're going to constantly question and nitpick why you change your name, because God told me to. You know, it's stuff like that. Why you sleeping in your car? Because I'm on a journey. Why you don't talk to your family? Because they're a distraction. I mean, when I tell you we gonna get there, oh, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. And anything that think is stopping us from getting there, ain't nothing stopping us. Ain't nothing. We have momentary delays. Oh, but we gonna get there. Don't be afraid of losing people. Bam, there that is. Right there. Boom. Don't be afraid of losing people. People are going, especially if you're young right now. See, if you're older, you already know what I'm talking about. But if you're young, people that you never expect to walk out of your life. People that you never expect to lose. You will seemingly lose. But you carry their memories. And I'm not just talking like in loss in general. I'm talking about like living. Like you probably gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 boyfriends, girlfriends on this journey. You probably have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs on this journey. Because you're learning and you don't know better just yet. You won't know better until you learn better. And the only way you can do that is through experience or someone who has experienced. But even if you learn from someone who has experienced until you experienced it, you don't know what they're talking about. Or you won't respect it. Only the best, right people, right attitudes, and right environments. Environments are very crucial. In this book that I'm writing right now, I'm talking about how it's important to have the right environment to nurture your spirit. That's why today talks about laziness too. That's why the laziness doesn't even work to your benefit, because if you're anything like me, you can't focus and concentrate and mess. Everything's got to be organized. Everything's got to have a place. But when you're in the process of cleaning and organizing and renovating, things get messy. When you're in the process of working on yourself internally, things get messy. And so it's one of those situations to where when things get messy, you got to take the time to clean it up. I understand. I really do. I understand how people can easily become hoarders. They are hoarders because they are in the wilderness season of their life and they got lost in it. You are in the wilderness season of your life. You are in the wilderness portion of your life. Don't settle there, because God has something for you. He's put you there to protect you. As I've heard, he's put you there to protect you. But you got to start seeing your wilderness differently. There's a lot of things that come up in the wilderness, like ego. Remember I told you that I'm battling ego right now? It's because I'm in the wilderness. And in the wilderness, it seems like the scab is just pulled off the sword. And all the things that you've learned, you got to seemingly relearn again. It's the test of trying to see if you're ready to move to the next phase of your life. You have accomplished so much and have had to overcome so much. Don't settle in that mess right now. You've gotten this far. Keep going. Keep going. Destiny has challenges and rewards. Destiny has challenges. Some of the challenges lost. One of the challenges lost. But we lose to gain. And we never really lose people, because energy does not die. Energy is never destroyed, it's recycled. So that's an obstacle and a challenge to overcome. Because in order to get to the reward, or in order to get to what God has destined for you, you have to get over this situation. And I know you done been through some stuff. I know that you done been through abuse. You had to suffer through abuse, the loss of a child, the loss of your husband, the loss of your wife. You've lost your house and had a house take from you. You weren't able to keep a lot of stuff. You were homeless. And so now you're trying to keep all that stuff. But purging is a part of this process. And you don't have to get rid of it all. You just have to find a way to make it work for you. Turn it into a store. You got all that stuff. Clean it up and turn your space into a store. Sell that stuff. Open up you a boutique online and sell that stuff. If you need help, inbox me. I got you with that. Cooperate, but do not settle. So when somebody's coming up against you today and they're bringing all that noise and that blase, the whoop-de-whoop-de-woo, and the hoopla. I'm reminded that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. So sometimes silence is golden. Silence is golden. Sometimes you just got to let people think that they're right. Because if you're talking to a fool, they'll never get it until they get there. They'll never get it until they get there. But don't settle. Like, don't settle for just anything. See them for what they're showing you. And then make moves within yourself accordingly. Even if that's to move away from that situation. Communicate your wants. Let go of your fear. Do not be unprepared. And this goes to staying focused. Because you want to constantly work on what it is you want. So you want to stay focused. So if you're staying focused, then you go out and you gather your resources and the tools that you need. And so every time I know I'm doing some gardening. So every time every time I'm walking around the property, I have like a hoe over here and a shovel over here. I have different things. So every time I walk by it, I'm reminded of gardening because I have the tools that I need to be able to do it. Another aspect of that is don't leave your tools laying around everywhere, though. You want to have a designated place for your tools. Overcome doubts and hesitation. Hesitation is not going to get you anywhere. At some point, you got to test that thing out because it's not going to get you anywhere if you just stay where you are, stuck. And if you're in the ditch of self-pity, that can leave you, as the word of the day said, breathless. You got to get up there so you can lead, so you can live and breathe again. As Tony Braxton said, breathe again, breathe again. But in the reverse side so that you can breathe again. Protect what you've worked hard for. Try not to get lazy and slumber. Laziness results in poverty and uncomfort. So understand where you are in life. You are on this journey, you're on this process, and sometimes things can get messy, they can get dirty. They can be uncomfortable. Especially if you're newly in your wilderness and you don't know how to see it. Because you don't know what you're looking at. And you don't know, you just got there. So you don't realize that tree has is a form of food. You don't realize that tree is a form of medicine. You don't realize that tree is a form of shelter. You don't realize that tree is an indication of water. because you're in the wilderness portion of your life and you're newly there. And so you're probably right now in your woe is me. But God wants you to see that thing differently. Don't keep letting fear and lack of confidence keep getting in your way. Ensure your determination is stable. Self-belief, a solid foundation equals progress. Pay attention to detail. If someone shows you who they are, believe them. I think I did that right. Or did she say, if someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Baby, believe them. Believe them. Because pay attention to detail. Because they telling you and showing you exactly what you need to see and exactly what you need to know. Little things matter too, as the small things can pile up to become big stuff. So I like to recycle, and it's so hard for me to throw a bottle, a can, or anything like that away. And it goes back to me and my mama granny walking, picking up cans and recycling when I was younger. But I cringe having to throw a plastic bottle or a can away. Not just because it's worth money, but because who knows where it's going, and it could be used and turned into something else. But over time, I'm piling these bottles and cans up, and my garage on the other side is full of cans, bottles, and everything. So what I had to do was, it's on my Instagram, but what I had to do is create a little bin so that I can put my plastics in, my plastic bottles in. And if I want to, I can build with that, or I can take that and put it on the back of my truck and take it to a recycling center and get a little moolah. Manifesting also takes effort. It's not just about manifesting that thing. Manifesting it goes back to me saying grace. Yes, God's grace is sufficient, but he also requires more. He also requires more. And that's the same thing about manifesting. It also requires effort. Your vision board is just your vision board. Yes, you're telling God, you're telling the universe what it is that you would desire. You're setting your intentions, but you also have to align with them intentions. Keep learning from experience to increase knowledge. Simple as that. Keep learning. Everything happens for a reason, and it's up to us to figure out what that reason is. So, lastly, repeat after me. I am grateful to get this far, and I am achieving my dreams, because you are. So we're going to say that again. I am grateful for getting this far, and I am achieving my dreams. Make it personal, because I am. I love you, Good Blend One. Hearts go out.